Alex Palou will be staying with Chip Ganassi. Let me tell you why. But first, let me summarize the conflict that happened last year between Chip Ganassi and Alex Palou. So Ganassi released a press release quoting Palou without his consent regarding his intentions to race at Ganassi for the 2023 season. They quoted him saying, "It's a great feeling knowing I'll be back with Chip Ganassi racing next season." And so nobody really thought too much about it. They were excited to see Palou in the car the following year. However, Alex took to Twitter and tweeted that he recently learned of this press release and that they released the quote without his consent. And because of this releasing of the quote without his consent, he said that with great respect to the team, I look forward to finishing the season out together. However, for personal reasons, I do not intend to race with the team after 2022. And then quickly after that, we find out that Mclaren releases a statement saying that they're welcoming Alex to Mclaren for the next year. And Alex comes to Twitter and says that he's excited to race for Mclaren and what future F1 opportunities may come from that. All of this happens, and then come to find out, the contract with Alex Palou and Chip Ganassi included some sort of team option. So Palou really had no decision in whether he was racing there or not. It really was the team's decision. And so it really wasn't his choice. And this was kind of his way of forcing out. He had told Chip Ganassi he did not want to race there the next year, but they were like, well, too bad you're racing here. And he didn't really like that. And so he, quote unquote, signed a contract with Zach Brown to race for McLaren on the Indycar side of things for the 2023 season. However, he was already technically under contract with Ganassi for the next year. And so this led to many legal battles over the past year or so. And at one point, Palou was possibly left sitting out the racing year of 2023. But ultimately, they let bygones be bygones, and Alex raced for Ganassi for this year. And we'll talk about how he's been doing this year. Of course, we all know he's been doing quite well. But by doing this, he quickly became a villain to many. And this blew up all over the social medias. And up until this point, people were thinking Alex is going to be racing for McLaren for the 2023 season. But let's talk about how that may not be so. Putting all this drama aside, Alex Palou has been fantastic in his 3.5 years with Chip Ganassi Racing. In this, he has 6 wins, 18 podiums, 3 poles, and an IndyCar championship to show for it. And he's on his way to winning a second IndyCar championship as he is currently leading the points. The real question is, why leave Chip Ganassi Racing? It seems like they have found lightning in a bottle, and really, with many of their drivers. We see Marcus Ericsson, Scott Dixon, we see the success with Alex Palou. It seems like all of their drivers have a knack for having very competitive race cars, week in and week out. You could say the same for McLaren and IndyCar as well. They do seem to have found some pace this year. They're consistently at the top of the grid. And you couldn't necessarily say that they're much worse than Ganassi. However, what is the point of leaving? You're leaving your engineers, you're leaving much of your support system, your spotters, a lot of the setup and the style of racing. It will likely take you a year or so to just find your way with McLaren if you do jump over there, which does slow down your path to another championship, slow down your progression to continuing to get wins in the series. And what if you never figure it out? There's many drivers who jump teams, think the grass is greener on the other side, and it never works out for them. That's one note. On top of that, who's to say there is even a seat available for you at McLaren in the coming years? Currently, Lando Norris signed an extension that brings him with the team through 2025, and Lando's been very good for McLaren over the past couple years and is showing very well. Then you have Oscar Piastri, who was with Alpine, and McLaren kind of scooped him up from there, even though he had signed the contract with Alpine, very similar to the Alex Palou situation. And they have Piastri currently as a rookie under contract through 2024, has an option in 2024. And he's not been doing poorly either. It's his first year, and so you can say what you want. but there's no reason for them to move off of Norris or Piastri. And then if you're McLaren and Norris decides to seek another team elsewhere for some reason, would you really want to bring Alex Palou in as a rookie? And that's a question they have to ask themselves as well. And there's also many F2 drivers from across the grid in F1 who may be a better fit for that seat if it were to open up. Another point to make is that why can't Alex Palou stay with Ganassi yet still have an opportunity to go to Formula One? If he continues to show as he is, his name recognition has gone up tremendously in the past couple years, not only because of the drama, but because of his prowess and his winning history with Ganassi over the past couple years. And if he is able to continue this, I'm sure another team may be able to pick him up from Formula One as well. And so really we see Mercedes is kind of locked in, and it seems like they're going to re-sign Hamilton. Sergio Perez, I don't think, is going anywhere for the next year or so. Alpine and Aston Martin seem pretty well set for the future. And then once we get out of those teams, you have Ferrari and some other teams in there, but really some of the openings that are going to be on the Formula One grid for somebody like a rookie from another series like Alex Palou are going to be with a Williams or an Alfa Romeo or an AlphaTauri. They're teams that maybe are towards the bottom of the grid. They're maybe not competing week in and week out. So if you're Alex Palou, though you would be racing the pinnacle of racing, as they say, right? However, a pinnacle of motorsport. However, you're not in a seat that's going to set you up for success, and then a year or two goes by and you're out. And then you have nowhere to go. And you're in, F2 or you're somewhere else. And so really my point here is that, is this jump really necessary? We even have some quotes from Palou saying, I don't really think about it too much. Obviously, I'm aware that F1 is the pinnacle of motorsports, and that's why I've decided to accept the possibility of joining a team, even if it's as a test driver. But at the same time, my job is to win races, and if I hadn't won Indycar, I wouldn't have been given the opportunity in F1. So I think the mentality I have is the same, to keep trying to win every race. And so even Alex Palou acknowledges that he's just trying to win races. He's trying to still compete, and though he does have these aspirations for Formula One, it seems like winning is really his mindset. And so for that reason, I do believe he will stay with Ganassi. There is no contract signed with McLaren. It seems like it's more of a verbal thing. He cannot sign a contract with McLaren when he's currently under contract with Chip Ganassi. And so really we're going to see in this quote-unquote silly season in the next couple months, we're going to see if this jump happens or not. But really I'm going to compare this to a drama that happened with a very well-known athlete, Kobe Bryant. If you watch basketball, if you've been around it, Kobe Bryant's was a very successful basketball player, has won many rings, and in 2007, with the Los Angeles Lakers, he was trying to get out of the team. And really the whole purpose of this was because he didn't think they were committed to putting him in a position to compete for a championship. So they were seeking trades with the Bulls, with a couple other teams around the league, and Kobe Bryant was in the news like crazy, and he almost left the Lakers. However, he did not, right? All this drama put aside, he did not. He went on to win in 2009 and 2010 with the team. Just a couple years later, won the championship with them. And this goes to say that, and he stayed with his team all of his career. He was a lifetime Laker. And I'm not saying Palou is going to be a lifetime Ganassi member, but I don't see why, if he's winning, if he's competing for championships, if everything's going well with him and the team, why you would jump ship. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Alex Palou will make the jump to McLaren, or do you think it's best for him to just stay with Ganassi? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe to see more motorsports content from Rhino Racing.